Pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Gaming with KaijuForceNeo. And now here on Gaming with KaijuForceNeo, we have ourselves Need for Speed, once again. Except this time around, you might have already seen this already, but I did get myself a new car here for the game itself. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. And now you can see it coming out of the garage, and I tell you, it's got a nice raspberry red tinted paint job on the outside, and there's plenty of other tuning and modifications that I set onto it. So you take it out for a spin. Its drifting tires aren't too bad really, but I wouldn't really put it through a drifting competition or a drift train, although I'm just one of the type that tends to figure out the most challenging aspects about the whole deal really. A game like this really has a lot of potential in it when it comes to looking for some variety in terms of different types of games that you're trying to look for within the game itself, despite this being an open world type of environment, which is a thing that a lot of gamers really love here in the modern day era of gaming. The bit ratio is much higher in contrast to how it used to be. With Sega consoles from 16-bit, 32-bit, and there's just a lot of bits and bytes that had gone around. If you remember the Atari Jaguar, I mean, I don't really need to be the angry video game nerd to explain it out really, but of course what James D. Rolfe had gone around saying about the Atari Jaguar being that it was the first 64-bit console system released in 1993. And yet, it fell hard. And you can see here this event right here that I just pulled up to when you saw that the video would cut. It would just cut, but I did not actually edit it out. Once again, this is an aspect that I have talked about before, but it's still coming around occasionally, depending on the server that I'm in. But a lot of these recordings that I've taken recently of the Need for Speed gameplay itself that I've been going through, just to try to get as much gameplay for Gaming with KaijuForceNeo as I can for this current season, Season 3 that is. I feel like that now I probably should get out of the server as soon as possible, because otherwise there's a good chance that more of these glitchy type things could happen really. A lot of these glitches could happen. It's just so glitch-tastic in a way with a server like this that it just expects me to think about how awful some connections seem to be. If you have a bad connection, of course, it's always a good idea to try to find a better internet router, but what's the point? Sometimes the internet router that you have yourself is just already seemingly better in terms of performance and speed. But despite all of this, there's still a good chance that your internet router could be going bad or something. You can see right there, that yellow van right there, that was something I actually just crashed into not too long ago. But I'm now way ahead of it, cruising at over 110 miles an hour, and whoa, yeah, you can see right there, that right there was just a good example of how sometimes you can see that the roads are a bit slick, as if there had been some rain that had come down. But the server is always like this. The servers to the game itself are like this. There hasn't really been a time to where I could find out exactly if there was some type of, well, other climates and other changes in the scenery and the environments in the game's open world itself that I could figure out. Because if there were to be such a thing like that, then I probably would have gone ahead and just tried to find something like that. But so far, with roads being somewhat moist and with the skies being usually pretty dark, with the moon up there as you can see over there in the background area, I almost feel like that's just the only type of climate that I could find really. So, any other point in time that you would seem to come across any certain climate or any other changes in the environment or the weather here in the game's system, then you could go ahead and just put a comment down below, or even put me a tweet and just shout out to me basically what you know about the game's changes in weather and climates and the like. Basically anything that you could toggle within the game's programming that you could do yourself. So with all that being said, I feel like that now I actually have some more confidence within. Red makes it faster is going to be an event that I'm going to go for. Reach the finish line within somewhere around 3 minutes. And so, right now, what I got here is that I've got 3 minutes 13 seconds to complete this entire time trial, and I'm going to do what it takes. So far I'm doing really good here, cruising at over 100 miles an hour, and I'm also just going at my way just to see how fast I can get to the finish line within all 32 of these checkpoints. Yep, there's 32 checkpoints in here. This time trial, I don't know, it's somewhere around medium or hard. Although, it doesn't really seem that way most of the time. You can see here that we got ourselves some good progress made. I haven't crashed, and I haven't, well, slammed into anything that would slow me down. But indubitably, I feel like, nonetheless, it's gonna be a smooth run all the way to the finish. Just going around the curve here, checkpoint 10 out of 32 within just 57 seconds, and now it's been just over a minute since I even started the time trial, so right now I'm just gonna go ahead and cruise through the rest of these checkpoints here, and I'm going to, well, you can also see that there's also the camera mount that I have here on the hood area, the hood camera view. I tend to like it this way because it seems to be free of any obstructions or blind spots, so this way I won't end up crashing into something surprisingly that would just come up to me by surprise, catch me off guard. So, of course, the hood camera view angle that I use here in the game is pretty often that I tend to use this, simply because of what I just said. Obstructions and blind spots tend to be at minimum whenever I switch to this view, because if I were to just stick around with the third-person view, there's a much better likelihood that I might hit something on accident by surprise. So, if you're lucky around here that it hasn't happened so far, but nonetheless, I feel like it's going to be a smooth run to the finish. I have less than a minute to go for the rest of the checkpoints though, and I do have somewhat over a mile left to cross on, so here we go. 25 out of 32. I have no idea exactly how long it's going to take for me to get past all these checkpoints now, because I do have around 30 seconds to do it. 30 seconds here. So, here we go. It's all or nothing right now. 20 seconds. And we got around 3 checkpoints to go. I don't see the next checkpoint in sight. I don't know. Maybe it might not be as easy as I thought. Oh. Oh, no. Look at that. There's the finish line right there, but yet I'm still 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and yeah, I just failed right there. 5 seconds too late. Well, you know what? That's still better than nothing. That's still better than having 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. Higher than the time that it's supposed to take for me to cross 32 checkpoints like that. 3 minutes, 13 seconds. I really don't know. I feel like the Mitsubishi Lancer here could get itself some more tuning and modifications set onto it in terms of visual customization and other types of tuning, especially when it comes to increasing the amount of horsepower for it, pound-feet of torque in the 0 to 60 mile per hour ratio. And so, I feel like with all that being said, I keep cruising along here in the streets here. Need for Speed, going at over 130 miles an hour now. I go, whoa, that was a hard drift. Almost like I took a really sharp turn right there. A straight up big corner. Whoa. If something just came. It looks like another player almost got me wrecked right there. Just by me hitting. Oh! Right there. I just struck a taxi. It looks like there's another racer right behind me. Oh, oh, whoa, my gosh. Yeah, oh, look at that. Just cut again. The video itself just cut again. So, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side. If you want to see more, go down on my channel. Bye-bye.